about president-elect, but we're talking about President Donald Trump. So sometimes I still have to pinch myself and think, is this real? Am I dreaming? But there you go. He's the president. Let's start first of all with his inauguration speech and what your thoughts were. Adhiambo, I'm sure you watched that.
Jesus.
That almost sums it up for you.
I can assure you that here is how I will sum it up. Every time you wait for him to hit, you know, like the punchline, and especially when he does, you know, that, like it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, and then nothing is happening, and then you say, yes, that's Trump. That, nothing happened for me. It's like the way you take a long route to somewhere and you're waiting for a wow moment, and there really wasn't a wow moment at all. In fact, I think talking about his speech, I'd rather talk about the sideshows rather than that speech. I didn't find anything. The word that he used a lot more than any other presidents of before was America. I think America was the key word in his speeches.
America first.
In his speech, America, 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 America,
it's all
America.
about, well, he has made it very clear that now it's all about America first,
yes,
and America first, so it's going to be America first.
Yes, America.
Zinzi, your thoughts on?
Oh, wow, I can give an entire composition. Where do I begin? Number one, you know, when he was reading that speech, it just took what? The internet 2 minutes later to find out where he got that speech from. And it's from movies. So, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Number two, I love the fact that Hillary Clinton showed up for that inauguration. How many of us will show up for our opponent if they're the ones who have won?
I think that was very mature.
That was very mature, and she wore white. And oh my goodness, Michelle Obama, let me tell you, her face, she was like, you know what, I am not even about this.
She was
the
queen of shade. She was the queen of shade.
What do I have to lose, you know?
Going back to the hood there,
and I also read that this specific inauguration for President Donald Trump had the most prayers ever. And if you come to think about it, there were so many prayers during that specific inauguration.
It was needed.
Then the rain began. Guys, then the rain began. The rain, and everyone was like, this is a sign of blessing. Then one person was just like, let me remind you that it also rained during Noah's time. Yeah, and then we think, if you know your Bible, you know what happens during Noah's time.
During Noah's time.
And
Trump actually said he stopped the rain.
Oh my gosh.
He can do it.
and for me, it's also what has happened post the inauguration. First of all, the Women's March. That was even bigger for me than an inauguration. Look at the streets, and not just in Washington, but across the world, how many people showed up, and women, even men. I'm standing with her, you know? And it wasn't just a matter of her referring to Clinton, but for every woman. And women, just putting women on the spotlight and our rights. In 2017, there's some things that are still happening, and we're like, are we not humans first, then our race, our color, our religion, etc.? So that Women's March was even bigger for me. And the fact that also, there's one key point that also has escaped my mind.
Something that was also interesting, I think, is when you look at the body language between Trump and Melania and Barack Obama and Michelle. And I mean, one of the things, of course, that we're looking at, I think last week, was the fact that they've managed to maintain a certain look before the public, whether they have their domes or whatever, which I'm sure they do. It's never really shown in the public. And even on this day.
Kenyan men are known to be romantic.
Okay, hey.
Also now this
Today is
Kenyan
always on.
You could see the way Barack was handling Michelle. And how Trump, the sponsor, was leaving the sponsee. The same way she does not put, the sponsors are not putting the photos for Instagram. They're saying,
you guys are brutal.
Oh my God.
So I think one thing that came out was that was very specific, was also how the media also looked at that, looking at Trump as somebody who's been really sometimes not so friendly to the media. Cool. And you saw how CNN, if I'm right again, they did not get that live, but they had to break it down later. And we just look at the beautiful, what was that again? Compositions of photos and stuff that they came up with. But again, coming towards yesterday, the day before yesterday, the Mexican wall now.
Oh my
the story
gosh.
about
We're going to build the Mexican wall.
And it's not even just about the Mexican wall. It's also the issue of the oil pipelines that President Barack Obama put a stop to, and he signed executive orders to make sure that those oil pipelines are working again. Wow. And I think it's more of a matter of environment here and people's health. He went and did that. And then the wall, and did you see the former president's tweet of Mexico saying we are not paying for that wall? You know, he used a very specific word which I can't use on TV. Donald, we are not paying for that wall. We are not.
He was
to make a visit even yesterday or today. He said, I'm not coming over.
Yeah.
We need to talk about
if you look at how much it's costing,
and guys, it's only been how many months?
A few days.
It's a few days. He's only been president for 1 week.
The first week.
It's actually a week, 7 days.
We have an Olympic year.
Like I told you guys that his presidency was going to be the most entertaining sort of presidency.
No.
And I think he had said he would do these things, and I think people thought he wouldn't do them.
Actually, nikusema na kutenda.
Yeah, and the most interesting thing for me is that I was watching a Trevor Noah. I like watching these comedians because it's the way they just break down how the politics is. It's so funny. And there was the part just before the inauguration where somebody was saying that Trump is calling Barack every time, trying to confirm a few things that he's capable. And the part where he was saying, "Am I Congress?"
no, is Ivanka Congress?
Is Ivanka Congress? He was confirming a lot of things. He has done them.
What is Kazakhstan?
Yes. Oh, Kazakhstan. Is there a country? You know.
How do you make a bill come to law?
How do I do it?
It's
How do I come
amazing.
in? And it's interesting, but he's going to do those things. And the one thing that we all, who are watching from wherever we are standing at, is that he was voted in as the president, and he had his agenda. He wasn't joking about them. They're actually things they've wanted to do before, and now there is somebody who's going to do them, and he just want to see how it will all play out. So let's wait. There's going to be big things. Those things he said he'll do, he's going to do them.
Okay.
Let me just say, sometimes there's a difference between running behind your passion and probably getting elected because your friends asked you and you tried to prove a point. To me, the Trump's presidency was almost like a joke, and people are laughing about it. I'm going to do it. And he did
he's doing it.
And now he gets into it, and
he's
then,
doing it.
you know, it's when you tell someone, I know how to drive, and then they give you an automatic car, and
You can move with the auto.
and you're trying to wonder, where did you say we put the start on? You understand? So it was very mature for President Barack Obama, or former president now, to actually, you know, that transition. It shocked a lot of them. You could see it in the faces of the Clinton.
Yeah, that's what I actually wanted to say.
You could actually see it, like, they could not understand. We are actually, it's not us. Where did this guy come
but
from?
he's done the changes, the
and you know,
changes that you're
sometimes
saying.
there can be forces that actually tell you, okay, let's do this. You can run for president. I know you have the money. We'll back you up. You have a big name. Let's go. Let's fight them.
But let me...
That's almost how I feel it.
That's important. Just to pick up from what he said, the issue of the transition between Obama's administration and Trump administration. I think when Adhiambo said that the whole world was watching, it is true. And us as Africa, what have we learned from this election, all right? Because we know here in Africa...
What have we learned? Yeah, if we have learned anything. Anyway,
here in Africa, we have this thing of clinging into power. I mean, we've seen it. We just saw it with Gambia. And for the Gambian people, they went out and they voted. And Adama Barrow is there. And Fatoumata, she's the vice president. I mean, we've seen this clinching of power and not saying... You forget that you're bigger than the country, or the country is bigger than you. So that's something
that's
we can
how I
borrow.
always feel, bigger than the country, I think.
Yeah.
And even when you concede defeat, take off with the whole band.
The money. With the money.
There you go.
$12 billion, like a movie star.
Yeah, you make
Like
sure
if
that
I
you're
need-
sorted. Anyway, that's President Trump, and what I can say is that brace yourselves. It's going to be a very entertaining.
No, it's very entertaining,
term,
Mike. Let me
I'm
just
sure.
add you on the entertaining bit.
Probably
Have you noticed
traumatic.
that the White House drapes are now gold?
And also,
You know?
Obama left him a letter. Obama actually left it on his first ABC interview. He said that Obama left him a letter, and that letter was very thoughtful and very sweet and very long. And him
Who was saying
explaining.
it was sweet?
Donald himself.
Oh my God, for Trump to admit anything
That
is
was-
sweet, it
yeah,
must
yeah.
be.
From Obama, and very thoughtful. He kept on saying thoughtful like
Very
50
thoughtful,
times.
thoughtful.
But Obama left him a letter. Obama knows that this is, that, you know, America is bigger than you and I.
Right.
Yeah, so I thought that was amazing.
Anyway, let's wait and see how it's going to pan out. The 7 days have already been entertaining. I don't know if you guys saw his first tweet. And
Yes, yes, the words.
there was quite a lot of entertainment right there. And people saying, how are we going to go through this time if this is what we have to do? But anyway, there you go. That's America for you. Still in America, there was also the Oscar nominations. And before we go into that, one of the films that has taken so many nominations is La La Land. I don't know if any of you have managed to watch it. It's a musical.
It's
a musical.
And I don't know if we have snippets
It is
of
awesome, yes.
the trailer if we can play it off now. La La Land, which basically has scooped quite a number.
On. For what?
For a TV show. The one that I was telling you about earlier.
The Dangerous Minds meets the OC?
Yeah.
Congratulations, that's
really
incredible.
Exciting. I feel like I said negative stuff about it before.
What?
It's like Rebel Without a Cause, sort of.
I got the bullets.
Yes.
You've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
You're like I'm on a shoe, ain't you?
Give me this.
It's a bit late.
All right, so that is La La Land, which basically has scooped quite a number of nominations, but of course we're yet to see what it's going to win. But your thoughts on the nominations, and first of all, comparing it to last year's nominations?
Of course, this year's nominations are more diverse, all right? Before we even had the Oscars, we were having what? The Grammys, was it?
Not the Grammys.
No,
The Grammys nominations.
No, before the Oscars, the Golden Globes. Sorry, yes, the Golden Globes. And it literally set the trail and the trend within Hollywood, saying, can we have more diverse people on the nomination list?
Last year, remember, we had all-white Oscars.
Yeah, hence the hashtag Oscars So White. That was really putting it on the spotlight, you know. And this time round, we're seeing more of both Black and Latino actors, directors, producers. Oh my goodness, Eva DuVernay.
Is it like the campaign actually helps?
It does. Oh, it does. It does. Because before that, it was only Denzel Washington who was the only black person there. Right. This time around, he's been nominated again. Viola Davis, she's broken the history. Octavia Spencer, I cannot wait to watch Hidden Figures. I mean, it is just amazing the fact that now it's becoming more diverse. Like we're saying, we're recognizing these other things that are happening, and these are the people behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. I think it's amazing. And I can't wait for the event on February.
It was going to happen generally, especially after such an uproar last year. And reason also being that the reason why even last year they were making a lot of that noise is because also the 8 years of President Obama's legacy created a platform to be able to write black stories. You see, before, you really could not be seeing people of color in things that were making headlines. True. So I think for them, they were really upset the other time because there were many of them, but there was nobody being recognized. So this time, of course, after such a noise, it has come out, and it's all looking really good. And most of those movies that they've actually nominated, everybody, there is nothing that is, nobody's making a lot of noise, which for me also worries, because sometimes you need a little bit of controversy and like people aren't agreeing. But on the other hand, I was just telling Stevens when he walked in that the Razzies are also out, the nomination for the worst
rotten
movies.
Ones.
Yes, for the bad movies.
Oh, wow.
Of,
Really?
Yes.
It's always quite something,
Yes,
by the way.
they are out.
You get
They're out.
worst video production.
So you go up and
camera,
then take your
worst
award.
sound.
You probably don't go, but I can assure you that I agree with it because Zoolander is leading neck
You
to neck.
agree with the, what is it called again?
Rotten tomato.
Yes, because the Zoolander, remember it, where Ben Stiller is there, versus Batman. Remember Batman and Superman, the movie? Yeah. Don't we all agree that they're going neck to neck really on the bad movie? The bad movie.
Oh, and by the way, there's a cash reward, so it's actually something to...
Well, for the worst movie.
There is.
Yeah.
Oh, then can we make one?
When they receive it, they always say, we were short of finances and the video director did not show up, but we still had to go.
And you see, and that's why sometimes
Even, Mike, sometimes we also, and I think it happens in past, 2 weeks ago, just profile the bad songs.
Yes.
Sometimes just teaches somebody else, no, I am so proud I did it the last. So I can work out towards the best now. But again,
No, really.
Yes, your sponsor, China Trump. No, we cannot.
So Mike, again, I just remember 3 years ago, we were talking about our very own Lupita, and when you're looking at the Oscars and every other film that was happening, awards happening out there, we're looking at our very own. And that made sense that we can follow the Oscars and all that. So right now, we're looking at us, black now, but again...
And Latinos.
And Latinos, yes. Is that all about it with local talent and movies? When you think about how film is big, again, of course, I know Hollywood is another story and Bollywood is another story. We talked about Nollywood. And we're talking about our local movies here and all that. Is it that Lupita was just a breakaway and now no breakthroughs down here?
Okay. And well, just in case maybe we're watching at home and we don't know who are the nominees, we have the nominees coming up. Before I ask you guys which has been your favorite movie for 2016, we'll see. But yeah, let's first of all look at the nominations before we move on to something else.
Year's nominees for Best Picture.
Arrival,
Fences,
Hacksaw Ridge,
Hell or High Water,
Hidden Figures,
La La Land,
Lion,
Manchester by the Sea,
Moonlight.
The nominees for lead actor are
Casey Affleck in Manchester by the Sea, Andrew Garfield in Hacksaw Ridge, Ryan Gosling in La La Land, Viggo Mortensen in Captain Fantastic, and Denzel Washington in Fences.
And the nominees for lead actress are
Isabelle Huppert in Elle, Ruth Negga in Loving, Natalie Portman in Jackie, Emma Stone in La La Land, and Meryl Streep in Florence Foster Jenkins.
The nominees for supporting actor are
Mahershala Ali in Moonlight, Jeff Bridges in Hell or High Water, Lucas Hedges in Manchester by the Sea, Dev Patel in Lion, and Michael Shannon in Nocturnal Animals.
All right, and those are just some of the nominations. There's more, there's more, there's more. So make sure you stay with us right here on Hot Topics. Of course, we'll also be looking at some of the best movies and maybe critiquing some movies, just like we do with Song of the Week. Soon we're going to be having Movie of the Month. But anyway, that's letting the cat out of the bag. But now, let's start with your favorite movies. Solo, if you manage to watch a movie to the end. I am doubting, but let's just give you the chance.
I'm a fan of black movies. Blue is a bad one, yeah?
Yes, blue is a bad movie.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes,
I'm a
yeah,
fan
blue,
of
no,
black
okay.
movies, so, so let's just get that.
Gee, man, put the AC on.
Yeah, but you know.
Say that again.
What? He's asking whether blue
No,
is
can
on
we
the
not
road.
go back to the blue movies?
Yeah,
let's stick with black. Why are you going back there? Steven,
Who does blue movies?
come on. So
Yeah,
no,
but-
let's stay with black.
Let's
Focus,
stick with,
focus,
black,
focus,
yeah.
yes.
I think Kevin Hart had a great year, 2015, 2016, and Central Intelligence with Dwayne. That was quite
The
entertaining.
Rock.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That was great.
All right, there you go. Adhiambo, what was your favorite movie of
It's
2016?
really not about my favorite movie, but trust me, I'll still take you back to the bad movies. I managed last year only to really watch the ones that are looking like they're bad. They've been nominated for
The worst.
bad.
No wonder
Yeah,
they-
like the worst. But it's because most of the time my movie dates were being postponed sometimes.
Oh, really?
Put him on the
You're
spot.
so
I don't know, you know, how could he?
Sorry.
Yeah, but,
Well, hopefully 2017 will be a better year for you.
but
All you guys who are standing up, Adhiambo, stop doing that.
how could they?
No, whoever was that person.
Whoever was, yeah. No, but I actually really love La La Land because it's one of those things that I enjoyed watching with children I hung out with, and they totally dragged me to actually go and watch it. And I love anything that has singing and, you know, you put music together with it. So I am rooting for them. I want Ryan Gosling to win this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zinzi, your favorite movie of 2016?
Ryan Gosling. Okay. Dwayne Johnson. I'm just here. Is the Idris Elba video for charity considered a movie? But anyway.
No.
Did he act this time,
Why are you
though?
holding your face like
I've
that?
not seen him in a movie this time. Was he in a movie last year?
I
Yes,
think
well,
so.
Idris
I'm
in
not sure, but
something.
he's been doing charity work, so I will give him.
Because we would have loved that
Focus,
movie.
focus, Zinzi.
We would have loved
I
that.
asked for the favorite movie.
For
Focus
me,
here.
it has to be Hidden Figures. For so many reasons. One, it's based on a true story. I didn't even know that there were these three amazing women of color who are in NASA, and they had like a very big impact on what we have today, what is happening.
And just for the records, you
Yes.
don't mean NASA, Kenya.
Not
No.
the NASA. Yeah, but it's important. Yeah.
But then thank you. There's okay, that's another story for another day. But yes, NASA, and the fact that it's been acted by three powerful women, Monet herself, Octavia Spencer, like I've said, was been nominated, and of course Taraji P. Henson. And I've been watching behind the scenes, and Taraji says that this specific movie really challenged her because you're acting a role of someone's life. So when she went to meet her real person character, for her, it was a matter of, am I able to portray your life? Am I doing justice to this role? So that, for me, has got to be the biggest movie for this year. And, of course, a few of animations. I can mention some of them. Because
now we know what Zinzi likes.
I love it and Reggie you know what her name means? Her middle name?
No.
The P? Do you know what P means?
No.
It means penda.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Penda Swahili.
Yes, by the way, and she says it so sweetly, like a penda, love, and Swahili.
Oh, wow. Swahili, I think, is a beautiful language.
Mike, I think.
Not panda the song.
Panda.
No. Oh.
Penda. Focus, guys.
Zizi watches movies and everything for me, so she's done summarized everything for me. So we are cool like that. But again,
well, it's good to know.
Not like that. Not like that.
No, just movie.
I don't know why Solo would go for
Central Intelligence.
Yeah, because one
Dwayne Johnson was the most. He's been appearing in so many of the magazines as one of the most successful actors in 2017. He was with company.
I don't refuse. I don't refuse that.
Yeah.
I just cannot stand. I like comedy and I like black. Yeah. Actually, all those movies you're talking about, anywhere there's a black man, just put me there, right? I think like that. So Barack Obama again. Yeah. There we are. I just cannot stand that kind of comedy of a very serious story that should be told. I've been watching the ratings of the same. They have not been so good. Some 6.2, some 5, some 7.
Why do you do that to yourself?
I just don't get it.
Don't look at the ratings before you watch a movie. Don't.
Because I'm saying black comedy is about the real fun. That's about the black man. And they don't fear saying it, the word, whatever it is. When it comes out playing around and all this is about school and kids and stuff, I don't get it from him at all.
No, that is why the bad movies, and let's go back there, there were very many bad movies in 2016 until, in fact, when they were rating them, they had to increase them from 5 to 6 in every category. Let's not.
So they were grind.
No, because I watched. Honestly, there were very many bad movies in 2016.
But Ademba, could we talk about the fact that not this year, 2016 was actually a good year for women? And I say this because in America, if you and I are co-starring in a movie, you get more in terms of salary than I do, yet we are at the same level, all right? There's the issue of also women being able to direct more and to produce more, which I think 2016 has been a breakthrough for so many women. You look at half the series that are being made and movies, and it's women producers and directors behind the scenes. We're having more key roles being played by women. And as the figure, as the person who is there, not as a compliment to
the men.
All right, and well, let's wait and see how that's going to play out in terms of who's going to win what. But at least the good thing is that there's a lot of color.
Yes, it's a mix.
It's like Githeri, you know.
Yes.
Really?
Black and white.
In a food basket?
Yeah, of course.
Very good Githeri.
Right there. Now, let's come back to local stuff. And I know there was Usain Bolt also being stripped of medal, although it was no fault of his own. It was because they were in a team, and one of the team members was actually found to be guilty of doping. But locally, we seem to also be having some other stars. And, there you go, Usain Bolt, basically being stripped. And you know, Usain Bolt is literally a legend.
It's Carter. You've got to blame Carter. Carter is his teammate who...
9 Olympic medals.
I mean, he's thinking, which one is that among those many?
That's what he's thinking.
Must have forgotten about it. But no, for any athlete or any person who is involved in any competition, any loss is a loss because it strips it off from your
it was
CV,
a record
from a CV, yeah.
And
I remember 2008 when they were doing, Jamaica had the strongest team ever. That's the time they overtook the Americans, especially in the 100 meters and in the relays. Well, it might not make so much of a difference, but getting it's like wearing your pants with no belt.
Well,
wearing your pants with no belt?
No, but it's interesting that out of the whole team, the person being highlighted is Usain Bolt.
Yes, he's the main man.
He's the main guy.
Of course, he's the main guy.
That's what teamwork does.
Yeah, that's what teamwork does. So when one goes down, the whole team goes down. But there you go.
You see the distance he gave them?
Yeah,
But I mean, Carter has said he will plead that case. He's
please, one thing, the news is just what we're talking
out, you know, already it's
like... The good thing is they're never asked to refund the money, which is the most important thing.
How much money was this?
To you. And I'm sure that if it was you given, you'd not even refund, you'd probably disappear. But talking about those guys, well, the reason why it was stripped is because of doping issues, and of course he's going to appeal. But there are others who I'm not sure what they're high on. And this is our local James Bonds.
Oh my God, yeah.
In Meru yesterday. And honestly speaking, we may take it as a very funny thing, but it is becoming ridiculous because there are several questions to be asked. Remember, there was that policeman who basically Kenya went crazy because he was asking a policewoman, although he didn't do it the right way, to, you know, clear.
Yes.
But we can now see why.
Deputy President.
There you go. This was a campaign in Meru by the former Prime Minister, and there you go. It takes off, and look, there is a guy right there.
What was somebody doing? I understand. Kenyans
really,
can trend
really
anything.
It almost looks very intentional.
No, by the way, I think it's even now more than come on,
and it's getting to a point where it's not funny. It's not funny anymore. Because, you know, at the end of the day, it's not just dangerous for him.
He's enjoying
it. It's dangerous for also those in the aircraft. And you know, the thing is, the pilot has no control. He doesn't know the guy is there until it's too late.
And he sits very well.
And you know what happens? Every time a pilot takes off and he has to land, then they have to report. And then when you're giving such messages that you took off and you have to land because someone is already, because of air traffic control. Well, I think we are taking this joke too far.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're almost trying to glorify them by calling them James Bond. I think it's a sad thing because if that guy makes a silly mistake and slips, then that's the end of it.
Are we still going to cry?
Well, the other guy, the fuller guy, said that he has a mental issue and he could not remember.
Actually, I think at some point he went to court and denied that.
Yeah, he said, I cannot remember I did
one
that.
Can only
but now it looks like someone else is glorifying.
No, it wasn't me. I think he was listening to too much of Shaggy. It wasn't me. Anyway.
It's not okay. I mean, it's not even, that American, the American situation, the current one, it's I mean, you know the person.
All right, guys, we need to move on to something else. And Stevens, we need to look at the past. But before we do that, there was also guys who got married for 100 shillings. So please, if you have an excuse, the reason. January. But I think it's a good thing. Yeah. I think it's a good thing because there's so much pressure of how much to spend on a wedding. Then you begin your relationship with debt. But yeah, there was a couple who actually got married in Kasarani for 100 shillings. And guess what? That 100 shillings was just for the ring.
I applaud them because it's the relationship, it's the marriage that matters, not how much you spend.
I won't talk about it. I played the fifth. I played the fifth.
I know we have Stevens.
These guys are about to attack.
You know, Stevens actually had a chopper and they had to put Stevens' wedding, they had a chopper and they had to put people around so that we don't have another James Bond. But I actually, I love this couple.
It's unique.
I think they split the 50-50 to buy bundles and post the photos on Instagram.
Stop hating Stevens.
That's how much.
I mean, that's so low.
But if you don't have too much money, just do it. You cannot be as rich as Stevens.
At the end of the day,
can sell all his
it's the relationship that counts. 100 shillings is enough for you to do a wedding. Stevens, let's go to the Pulse. Do we have a 100 shillings wedding in the Pulse?
Actually, we've been talking about just making it again in January and across there. But again, before this, Pulse has always highlighted how you can afford life with what you have. And I remember last year, and we're about to do it again, that you can also do fashion even for 100 shillings. You can mix, match. And I remember sometimes ago again, we just also highlighted how you can even rewind something, your good look, and mix it up the whole week and just look fresh every day. So it's not about
the same clothes the whole week.
No. Rematch them.
Match.
I'll explain, brother, when you get behind there.
No, it's because I'd be so traumatized. You know, let me just give you a very short story as you take us to the Pulse.
Yes. Right.
I went to France one time and there's this lady I was staying with. That's not the punchline. This lady I was staying with, and she was in the same pair of jeans and top Monday to Friday. I was traumatized.
You know, it's traumatizing.
Are you sure it was the same one?
No, it was the same one.
What are you doing in France?
No, that's a story for another day.
Moving very swiftly. Yes, Mike. I think the past has a lot of stuff that we need to get. Again, January is gone. I think January is gone.
Yeah, we've only got like 3 days.
It will be done by Wednesday.
And so we move forward. We just forget about all January, and all those things. And we're moving you swiftly towards Valentine's, coming very fast in 2 weeks or so. I believe young ones like Zizi would be thinking, okay, what's it there for me, chocolates and stuff. So that's another story. But yes, Paz is taking you across, and we have, I think that's where you are right now, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Offer that I've been given again, talking about a wedding for 100 shillings. We have an offer for Valentine's, which is 93 shillings.
93 bob.
93 for you
bob.
to enjoy everything in the world.
So what do I do with the 7 bob?
Given
7 bob you can split.
You split the 7 bob for
93
bundles.
shillings. Valentine's is coming your way. And just to mention, Solo had mentioned that Kenyans are very romantic, but it looks like they're also cheap.
All right. And Mike has...
That's what President Barack
The cheapness bit.
Mike, and thanks for holding that like that. As you think about Valentine's for 93 shillings, the next page just right there is what we're talking about. So many jams that came out from our artists this year, and we just try to profile most of some of the best songs that were released in January. A month where most of the times we don't have a lot of music coming out of our guys and stuff. And so that is for you to get. But again, for those guys who love fashion and everything, today is just a killer. Because you're again saying 2017 is here. You can go to your closet, you can roll those things back to the bag and send them somewhere else and get yourself a look for 2017.
Right.
It's what we are trying to profile right here with
Crystal. So there's lots more in the Pulse. You need to get yourself a copy. Just the headlines. Only the headlines, Solo, of the Nairobian.
The Nairobian, very hot, very sizzling today. There's a big splash here. And probably, I think in Nairobian, we'd want to catch up on this one. And this is what Sonko said the other day, that Shebesh almost broke my marriage. All the details are in there about what happened.
Get the details in the Nairobian.
But there's one thing you also don't want to miss, and when we talk about political dynasty in Kenya, it's very clear. The Uhuru family, the Jaramogi family, the Moi family. And there's a beautiful photo of Mama Ngina Kenyatta and former President Daniel Moi.
All right.